Fanstomp was about a solution for sports fans. Sports fans often, so Fanstomp was a web and mobile service that enabled sports fans to connect and watch games together. What we realized is a lot of sports fans get together in living rooms, in sports bars, at tailgates to watch games. People love enjoying their favorite teams together, but you can't always be with your friends, your bros, your family to do that. So what we looked at, how can we create sort of a virtual tailgate online using topical audio chats, news feeds, gamification features, things to make watching the game by yourself remotely with other people really engaging. So that's generally what we're doing. Andrew will tell you, we pivoted along the way. That's not where we started, that's where we ended up. Andrew will share a little bit about that, but that's enough to get us started. One of the first things I wanted to share with you is that your team really is everything. This is something I'd heard, but my experience really confirmed this. I had this idea of something I thought was really compelling. It kept me up at night, lost sleep over it, but I couldn't build it myself. So I set out, it's pretty much spent most of January to March of this year recruiting team members. I posted flyers, I pitched student groups, pitched classrooms, did really everything I could to find people all over campus. Luckily, I found Andrew and Ben Mullins, who's another master's student. But the thing I would share with you all is recruiting is something you have to do sort of like 24/7. It's a gear that you really have to be in always, because you never know when you're going to run into a rock star or a superstar. So you really need to be putting yourself out there sort of constantly. And when you do that, really be yourself. Be authentic, show your passion. I really believe and still believe that this idea is going to take some form and change the world of sports. I really believe that. Be really passionate and be really authentic. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. I felt sometimes sort of like I'm a student, this thing doesn't have any legs yet, but put yourself out there, be authentic. People are really attracted to passion, and take a stand for who you are and what you believe in. Secondly, once you find people to work with, particularly a founding team, get it on paper. I actually, one of my really good friends is named Andrew. It's a different Andrew. We went to Ross together. This thing was actually his idea. And we started working on it for a couple months. He decided he was going to graduate and leave, and he wanted to leave a bit of the company with him. We were mid-conversation and didn't have anything on paper about what this meant, who owned how much. And that's kind of what was a difficult conversation for the two of us, which we had a really good outcome to. But it would have been much easier on the front end if we would have sat down and said, here are the terms that we're working together. A lot of you guys are going to be working with friends, with classmates, and it's going to feel awkward and formal to sort of spell out, okay, if someone leaves in this period of time, this is what happens. But it's really important that you do so, particularly if you're friends. You owe it to yourselves to get these things on paper so that it doesn't feel personal later on. So come April, Andrew had left. I'd found Ben and Andrew to come on for the summer. We had a great idea. We'd raised about $20,000 in non-dilutive grant funding around the university, which we can tell you about in the Q&A portion. But we had a great team. We had done some initial discovery, and now it was time to get down to the real meat of the business.